This is my, well, first, I want to say, how y'all doing out there, YouTube world? My name is Sergio, and this is yet another episode of Gun, Powder, Philosophy, Reviews and shit. With your host, Sergio. Now today, I want to review something that's near and dear to my heart. Got it on my birthday a couple years back. Are you on my face?
Yeah.
I got it on my birthday a couple years back, and it's been a strictly love affair since I had it. It's a special and warm spot in my heart for this particular firearm. I say that because when I see this firearm, I think about the 1960s. I think about police. I think about, what the hell? I think about the Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton. I think about some of everybody, because this is the firearm you use when you want to get shit straight. When you want to get shit straight and you want to get the record clear, before you say anything to anybody, you break out the motherfucking Persuader. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mossberg Persuader. And I don't care what nobody on the interwebs tell you. In my opinion, you don't have you a full Persuader until you got the motherfucking heat shield and until you got the pistol grip. Because a real man don't need a stock. I'm just bullshitting. If you want to stock, get a stock. But I'm just saying, this is what I like about this shotgun. It's unloaded, by the way. Let's clear that up. We're not flagging anybody. No ammunition is in the gun. We do have ammunition in the room, but I'm smart enough not to have any ammunition whatsoever in this firearm while we're recording, so nobody's hurt. So anyway, yeah, this is the shit you want when you want to get some shit straight. Let me see that. You see that? Look at that. This here is the almighty Mossberg Persuader. This is the thing you use when you got somebody on your doorstep with the bullshit, with the lethal bullshit, and you tell them, look, motherfucker, you got just one time to get off of my fucking lawn. You got just one time to get off of my doorstep. You got just one time to drive away from my apartment complex. Because I'm not going to call the police until after the situation is taken care of. And if my sexy voice is not enough to persuade you to do the right thing, if your inner wisdom is not enough to persuade you to do the right thing, if common sense and the law of this land is not enough to persuade you to do the right thing, this shotgun will persuade your ass with some buckshot and with some slugs, or even with some bird shot, or even with just the appearance of this motherfucker. Maybe even a click clack. Let you know that I'm not playing no motherfucking games. Because why would I play any games? Does this look like some bullshit to you? This is a no frills workman's handgun. You understand what I just said to you? All of my firearms are utilitarian. Now, I'm not your average gun owner. Your average gun owner, they want to go out. They want to have fun. They want to go buy some Gucci bullshit. They want to go buy some little old 22. And then against 22s, I get that from my daughter so I can train her on it or whatever. You know, you want to do a little 22 this, a little 22 that. I want to spend $5,000 on the gun here. Or what the fuck ever, man. All my guns, I got a simple philosophy for every single gun I buy. Self-defense, end of the world scenario. Could I use this in a self-defense, end of the world scenario? If the answer is no, if the answer is even maybe, I don't want the bullshit. I don't need the bullshit. Only gun I would get, where it'll probably be some bullshit, it have to be something I really want but don't necessarily need. And boy, when I tell you that list is few and far between. See, because everything I get, I want it to blow a hole in the motherfucker. I want it to put a stop to the active threat. That's what I want. I cut no corners. No kind of bullshit. That's what you need. I call this the Suburban, the Chevy Suburban, the all-American Chevy Suburban of firearms. It's no bullshit. When this pull up, you leave the block. You understand me? You leave the motherfucking block. Now this firearm, it holds 7 plus 1. 7 of these little shells right here. Plus 1. Now if that don't do the job, I don't know what will. If that don't do the job, I'm going to get my AR-15. I'm going to get my AK-47. But I'm quite certain, and I'm quite sure, that this would do the job. Little story time. I remember my cousin. He was like, my cousin an asshole, you know. He's one of them motherfuckers. He had all kind of little cripple jokes when I was growing up, you know. He let me puff on the Black and Mild when I was growing up. You know, all kind of shit. But you know what? That made me tougher. It made me into the man I am today. Cause when I took that Black and Mild, I hit it so hard, I started rolling around on the ground. And it made me to the point where I never smoked until I became grown. In my youth, and I'm talking about my late, I was like in my late 20s when I first tried marijuana. I was in my late 20s when I first started smoking cigars. But other than that, I don't smoke at all. But I'm just saying. See, I brought him up because he's also the guy that told me, Sergio, you a small, frail guy. Pretty much, you know, you disabled. You can't shoot no shotgun. You shoot a shotgun, it's gonna knock you on your ass. It's gonna do X, Y, Z to you. Now let me tell you, before this shotgun, I believe I had about maybe 2 or 3, because I bought the same shotgun like 3 different times. It was a Maverick 88. But I had like 2 or 3 different shotguns. And I started off with a 20 gauge. So I knew enough to know if I'm new to firearms, hey, I needed something that wasn't gonna knock me on my ass. I needed something that wasn't. But anyway, I brought that 20 gauge in the living room to show to my cousin. And the first thing he said was, oh, you need to get a video recording of yourself shooting that gun, because I think it's gonna, you know, he wanted to laugh at me. So I had that gun and my other gun. One of the first, I call it my first gun I ever got was a Larson L25, some old bullshit. So I always tell people, my first real gun I ever got was my Smith & Wesson SD9 VE. So I go to the range with my Smith & Wesson, because I was scared to shoot that Larson. I never did. I took that shit back to the pawn shop, because I'm like, I heard all the stories, and I'm like, the motherfucker ain't finna blow me to pieces. But anywho, I was like, listen, I took that shit to the pawn shop. I took that shit to the range, my SD9VE, and my 20 gauge Maverick 88. And instead of me pussyfooting around, instead of me bullshitting, you know, typically the first gun a lot of people shoot, it'll be like the pistol, you know, the 9mm, typical shit, right? And people they kind of stay away, they kind of scare away from the shotgun or the AR, especially if they going in there just by themselves to the range. You let me tell you, the first gun I ever shot was a Mossberg. The very first gun I ever shot was a Mossberg Maverick 88 20 gauge. And I did that just to prove to my dumb, fat ass cousin that, hey, bitch, you can't limit me. Because God told me I was limitless. So the first gun I shot was the goddamn shotgun. And after that, I became a gun fanatic. I was like, oh, motherfucker, I can't wait to go back. Oh my God, I need to get this gun. I need to get that gun. I started leaving guns in my bookmark on my goddamn computer. It was gun galore for me right there. And it's also coming from a wuss as a child. You know, I was very scary as a child growing up. I got bullied a lot. I was scared of fireworks. So it was like, you know, hey, I never seen myself being a firearms guy, a firearms advocate, none of this shit here. But when I tell you of my whole family, I'm the loudest Second Amendment supporter probably in the Birmingham area. And I know that's saying a lot, but that's just how much I love the Second Amendment. That's just how much I value. I study the history. I read. I research. Any kind of gun knowledge, you can never tell me enough. Any kind of gun history, any kind of gun legislation, colon noir. I watch, I listen to all that shit. I watch, I listen, I learn. You can never tell me enough. I'm always learning. I'm a student. So that's why I said if I make a mistake, please charge it to my head because I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I've been in the guns for a good, I don't want to over-exaggerate. My daughter's 10. So I want to say I started getting into guns real heavy maybe about between the first to the second year of her life. So I can say I've been in this gun shit on my own off YouTube. I've been watching YouTube a lot, but just learning 10 years straight. So yeah. Then plus I told you I'm an armed security guard. I got training, all that good shit right there. And I'm not an expert. I still need to further my training. I want to further my training. But anyway, yeah. It was love at first shot. When I shot that Mossberg, I knew. Some people see that first girl and they be like, I'm in love. They see their wife and they be like, you know, I'm not that type of guy. I'm the type of guy, I see a gun, I don't shut the fuck up. It's simple. Like, one time my girlfriend was like, boy, you talking about this shit in your sleep. You was literally telling me the next gun you gonna buy in your fucking sleep. Like, shut the fuck up. You know, I bought my first AR-15, and the first thing I did was race over to my best friend's house. And then next thing you know, he went out, traded his Glock, and the next day, he had his first AR-15. But see, I ain't even finna get into that in his story. That's too juicy. But anyway, yeah. He I inspired him to go to get an AR-15. And he was a gun person before me. But anyway, yeah. This Mossberg is some heavy duty shit. I got it for my birthday. We was going to Atlanta. I'm from Birmingham. We was going to Atlanta for my birthday weekend. And I was like, shit. Before we hit the road, I gotta stop. I'm going to Exile Armory in Weaver, Alabama. That's where I get majority of my guns from. I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna get me something. I didn't know what I was gonna grab. So I walk in the store And what the fuck do I see? I look around, I got me some money. And then I'm like, shit, I don't know what to buy. I think I was gonna buy a pistol or something simple. I look over, and they had this just sitting on the countertop. Heat shield and everything. Only thing I changed was this little grip. This a whole grip, the tamer. I don't know if you can see that on there. Yeah, there you go. It says tamer. But yeah, this softens up my shot when I shoot it. And it also gives me more purchase than that little skinny ass shit. I also got the same thing on my AK pistol, but anyway, well, not the same thing, but I'm saying I changed the grip. But that's another video for another day. But yeah, I changed this grip so I can have more purchase. And yeah, man, when I went to go shoot this for the first time, I thought, even after I had shot the 20 gauge, this is years later now when I bought this. I finally got the nerve a couple years ago to finally step into the 12 gauge, because the 20 gauge is limited. If anybody listening in the firearms world who make ammunition or who make accessories, y'all, start making more shit for the 20 gauge. It's really not fair that you got all this shit and all these accessories for your 12 gauge shotgun. But when you come to 20 gauge, you want people to get into the sport. You want people to buy a shotgun. Why don't you do more shit for the 20 gauge? I'm gonna be a 20 gauge, even though I got me a 12 gauge, I'm not a snob. I'm gonna be a 20 gauge advocate. Do more shit for your 20 gauge, because I should have been able to get all this shit for the 20 gauge. I should be able to find more accessories. But see, when I Google shit and when I go to stores, they're like, oh, we don't have that in the 20 gauge. We don't have it. We just don't got it. We just don't. That's disheartening. So a little skinny guy like me, I had to bump it up. I had to. But I don't know what it is. I think I handle recoil pretty good for my stature and my situation. But yeah, when I shot this motherfucker, it ran flawlessly. No problems. It cycled. And for those of you that don't know, you get one shot per pump. You have to manually pump this sucker. That's why it's called pump action. This is the pump right there. You have to, and it's a lever under here you press when you do that first load. But yeah, after each subsequent load, you pump that right there, and that's how the firearm functions. That's the action, the pump action shotgun. I have had a revolver, and by the way, I have a couple guns now, more than a couple, but I done got rid of more guns than I got right now. But anyway, yeah, I have had a revolver, I have had a lever action, I have had pump action, semi-automatic. I mean, I done been through a couple of them. But yeah, this Mossberg is like near and dear to my heart. And I really, really, really wanted me a Mossberg. And I really, really, really wanted me a shotgun in particular. Because this song I heard called Jealous Got Me Scrapped by Spice One and Tupac Shakur. You know, he said, a skinny ass never had a penny ass nigga. I figure a Mossberg pump will show those punks who's bigger. It will show those punks who's bigger. That's basically what it is. So if you've been bullied, if you've been picked on, and it's to the point where they don't want to stop, and it's to the point where it becomes lethal force, oh yeah, it gets no more lethal. It gets no more deadly, no more self-defense-ish than the Mossberg, baby. So if your life is in danger, you got to keep one in the chamber. You got to understand that this is not just a gun. It is a philosophy. Every gun has, like, what's that channel I watch? Nothing Fancy. Shout out to Nothing. Nothing Fancy. POU. I learned from him. Philosophy of use. Every gun has a philosophy of use. And this philosophy is, hey, I want to put food on the table. Hey, you're not going to be in my house. This is the gun you say, in my house, handing my ass to me. You're not going to do that. I will not tolerate it. Okay? Taking out the trash, as my boy T Electric say, taking out the savages. And they roam in every neighborhood. Late at night and in broad daylight. They don't give a fuck. So you must be prepared to fight. And with that being said, ought be well said, in every house, there should be a shotgun. There should be a Winchester in every house in the corner. I'm going to up the ante. And I would say in every American household, if you can afford it, there shall be a shotgun in every corner of every house in America. Because fuck Joe Biden. Because fuck everybody who got anything to say about me having natural human rights. Just as you have the privilege to fart out of your ass, I have the right to own a gun and to own as many as I please. Because on this turf were my ancestors, former slaves. I do not understand, I cannot comprehend how can black people be former slaves still voting for Democrats who want to see them disarmed, but then they want to get up and say Black Lives Matter. Then they want to get up and say, oh man, the white man is the white man that. Well, you know what else the white man? The white man is smart. You want to know what else the white man? The white man got guns. The white man got economic power. Get you some, nigga. I'm just saying. Get you some. You so goddamn scared of the white man, it shouldn't take you this long to arm up then. Because he don't mind. He don't mind killing you down in the street. The police don't mind shooting your ass. So I'm saying, won't you learn something about the Constitution? Won't you learn how to preserve something? How to conserve something? How to keep something? How to protect something? Your community. Or at the bare minimum, if you don't want to go all Rosa Parks with it, or what the fuck ever, shit. At the bare minimum, protect yourself. All these crimes, all these murders going on in the inner cities. And I'm like, for what? When everybody got the right to bear arms. You should disown and disregard the man that tells you to go out and vote, but tell you also that you can't own a firearm. He is nothing. Any man who tell you that you can go out there and vote, but you shouldn't go to a gun store, they'll motherfucking lie, they'll cheat, and they'll sucker. Your ancestors died so you could vote. No, the fuck they didn't. They died because they didn't have a gun. Period. Martin Luther King died because he didn't have security like that. Or if he did, what the fuck were they? Yeah, Malcolm X, I know about the nation. Yeah, check this out. He died. His security turned on him. His security was shitty. His security was the FBI. All this shit the FBI, the CIA done to us. And y'all don't want to arm up? That don't make sense. That is dumb. That is counterproductive. Just about everything black people do politically is dumb and counterproductive. That's why I don't get down with none of that shit. You can't fool me at all. Doug Jones always talking about the 16th Street. Yeah, I defended the 16th Street Baptist Church. All while he running, right? So now we in the era again. We in a time again for the 16th Street Baptist Church. This is the anniversary. What Doug Jones at? Oh, he ain't running for office. So he ain't got nothing to say about the 4 little girls no more. Or at least I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. I'm just saying, y'all gonna quit letting these white liberals use y'all and make y'all into slaves. But you want to talk about Donald Trump bringing back slaves. But Donald Trump ain't the one that told y'all that y'all can't have a gun. The Republicans ain't the one that told y'all that y'all shouldn't buy ammunition. That's what the Democrats said. They the one passing red flag laws. They the one that support the new black codes, which will be them watching your credit card and shit as you buy guns. What the fuck is that, man? Y'all do all this talking about black history and don't realize we living in the present and the shit that's still going on in another form. It don't make sense, bro. I'm not with this shit. Politically, y'all stupid. But anyway, that's another topic for another day, man. I'm all off topic. But yeah. Mossberg Persuader. I'm going to persuade you to go get you one. And have a good night. Gunpowder philosophy. Out of sight.